What's good, Detroit Sports Nation? I am Eric Vincent, your host here at the DSN News Desk. Thank you for being here. We appreciate your time and support as we have some huge news to unpack as we get ready for the Detroit Lions game against the New York Jets on Sunday. Been a lot of question about who the Jets were going to start at quarterback on Sunday against the Lions, and it's officially been revealed that Mike White, the previous starter for the Jets, will be sidelined due to injury against the Detroit Lions on Sunday, meaning Zach Wilson will be the starting quarterback for the Jets in this coming matchup on Sunday. The same quarterback who was just benched by the Jets only a few weeks ago. The same quarterback who was skipping the ball in the dirt, trying to get passes completed to his receivers, throwing balls to the sidelines, trying to complete screen passes, and the same quarterback who just not too long ago threw his team under the bus in the same media session right after the game. This is who the Lions will be facing in their matchup this Sunday. Now, I don't cheer for injury. I don't root for injury to court favor for the team. However, it does seem like there are a lot of things, a lot of breaks, a lot of, circumstances that seem to be swaying into the Lions' favor as this season plays out. We just saw the San Francisco 49ers help the Lions in beating the Seattle Seahawks in this Thursday night football matchup this week. We're seeing the Jets go through some injuries now. They're dealing with their starting quarterback out. Corey Davis has been ruled out by Robert Saleh, and they also could be without their leading pass rusher, Quentin Williams, who has 11 sacks on the season. He's 50-50 and has not been ruled out yet. But a lot of things are swaying into the momentum that the Lions have been building over these past 6 weeks, and this has been tremendous for them. Now, they already, in my opinion, were favored to win this game. Knowing what we know now, the Lions should win this game convincingly again, just like they did against the Minnesota Vikings. Now, I want to be very clear. The Jets are not a team to look over. This is a team that's very talented, very motivated, and a team that the Lions need to take serious. They're a very talented group. They have a very good offensive line. They have a formidable run game. They have an emerging star at wide receiver in Garrett Wilson. They are very good on their defensive line, even outside of Quentin Williams. They have an emerging star in Sauce Gardner at cornerback. The Lions are not going to be able to just write off and scratch this game as an easy W. This isn't the Jags. This isn't the Giants. This is the team that you're going to have to take serious. And they're just as motivated as the Lions. They're 7-6 in a tough division, playing in a tough AFC, trying to establish playoff positioning just like the Detroit Lions are, except they're in a tougher conference playing against a little bit tougher competition as well. Now, in fairness, to the Lions, they played some tough competition as well. But the Jets in the AFC, and again, in a tougher division, you could argue that their road has been a little bit tougher than the Lions. But you can only play who's on your schedule, so we won't take that away from anybody. Now, something to consider, though, the Jets, with their very talented defense, which ranks 6th in points allowed, 5th in sacks, and they've faced some pretty potent offense throughout the season. Faced Baltimore to start the season off, Cincinnati. They played twice against the Miami Dolphins, the Buffalo Bills, two of the highest ranked offenses in the entire league. So they've seen some tough, formidable units that they've had to really give their best effort for in order to put a win together. But here's the difference between the Lions. The argument that you can make for the Lions that you can't make for each of those teams that I just named, they're not elite on both sides of their offensive attack. Now, you look at the Dolphins. They're very efficient, very effective in their pass game. Not super strong in terms of their run game, though. You can make the same case for the Buffalo Bills. Even though they have a really good run game, it's mainly predicated on the two-way ability of being able to play with Josh Allen, who scrambles a lot, and Singletary, who plays, complementary football off of Josh Allen. It's not just Singletary being dominant alone. So what the Lions have that those other teams don't, that I just kind of mentioned, they're good maybe at one side of their offensive attack, where the Lions can show balance and be dominant on either. They've proven that all season with the dominance of their offensive line, with the consistency of their run game, and their emergence in the pass, with Jared Goff playing better, Amon-Ra St. Brown playing at a Pro Bowl level, Jameson Williams being healthy now, they're finding ability in ways to be creative and get the ball to their running game or even their linemen if they need to get the chains moving. The Lions have shown anything that they need to do, they can do it effectively and they can do it efficiently. And they're doing that against a team that really needs to be put down. You can't afford to lose this game. To me, I kind of looked at this game a bit as a trap game just because of how good the Jets' defense is. But if you are handling your business accordingly, if the Lions are hitting on all cylinders and playing their A game how they have been over these past 6 weeks, they should get out of New York with a convincing victory. I will say, though, I think as this season closes, we may need to temper our expectations a little bit for how these next 4 games should go. Now, be very clear. I believe the Lions should be able to win out these last 4 games. I truly believe that. But I don't think they're going to look as perfect as we've seen them look over these past several weeks. I don't think we're going to be able to rely on that. I think you might be in store for a sloppy game, kind of like what the Lions had against the Packers the first time they played them. Now, they won that game, but they weren't impressive or perfect on both sides of the football. It was kind of sloppy. They had to create some turnovers, deal with some ugly drives, kick some field goals, and create some inopportune moments to build the lead and win the game against the Packers. They could deal with something like that again with this close of the season. So I want Lions fans to keep that, in check in the back of their mind because it's still a young team that we're watching. They've never been in a situation like this where they're playing such important games where really they have to be perfect as often as possible. If you want to grind out and overtake, I think it's 3 teams ahead of you that you realistically could pass in the wild card race, whether it's the Commanders, the Giants, or the Seahawks. Those are the 3 teams in front of you, and you could pass them, but you're going to have to be as damn near close to perfect as possible in order to get those games convincingly. I don't know if that's specifically going to happen, though. Now, I don't necessarily think it should take that in order for Lions fans to believe in what they're seeing. The only thing you don't want is another New England Patriots game. That's the only thing you have to avoid an SOL letdown, an SOL cry session from the. You don't want to have to deal with that. As long as you don't come out flat like you did against the Patriots, you should be just fine. This team is getting healthy at the right time. The coaches are coaching their behinds off in the most inopportune times and opportune times to help put games away for this team. They're doing everything that they need to do to put the Lions in position to put games away. They haven't had to come back a lot. They haven't had to rally from huge deficits in order to beat these teams. The Lions have done a very good job at getting off to fast starts and putting their opponents down when they try to play desperate throughout the game. You saw that with Minnesota. They're down, and they try to do desperate things like throw a jump pass with Dalvin Cook in the red zone, or making guys like, Daniel Jones have to throw more than he's comfortable with throwing. Those are acts of desperation by your opponents, and that's what good teams do. You put pressure on them early, and you make them play out of character as quick as you possibly can. You do that by building big leads, creating turnovers, hitting the quarterback, doing whatever's necessary to get them to play out of character. You have every possibility to do that with the New York Jets on Sunday. Zach Wilson's feeling some pressure. He's seen how good Mike White's been playing, and he's in a position where he needs to get his career established, where he can say, I'm still the guy, I'm still a franchise quarterback, because there's a lot of question within that locker room. There's a lot of question within his own head. And you need to keep those ghosts swirling around as much as possible within that locker room. Don't make life easy for him. Don't give him any optimism. Don't give him any chance to prove himself against this defense. You've been fantastic over these last few games. Keep the pressure going. Keep dialing up the blitzes. Keep getting creative in these, designs to keep Zach Wilson on, throw it off his back foot. Really, that's what you want to be doing. I don't think they're going to be in a position where they'll be able to just run it consistently down your Lions' throat, because they've been very improved against the run, and you're going to have to be able to match points with points. Even with all those other high-powered offensive teams that I named, I don't think any of them have the balance that the Lions have. And the Lions have shown that they have the ability to score on the road or at home. And I think they can do that again against the Jets on Sunday. I'm predicting a final score of... I feel like it's gonna be a bit of a grimy game, kind of like Minnesota. I'm gonna go 30-20 Detroit Lions. 30-20 Detroit Lions. I think they cover, and I think they do everything they need to do on both sides of the football. I think they're going to force some turnovers by Zach Wilson. I think we're going to see some more good production from Jameson Williams. I think we're going to see some good production from Jared Goff all game. This offensive line has done a great job of keeping him clean. If they don't have Quentin Williams, I think we've seen the offensive line be creative enough and scheme perfectly by Ben Johnson to put Jared Goff in positions where he's not worrying about pressure in his face the whole game. He's able to survey the field, get the ball in open space for his receivers to catch and run. And I think we're going to see more of that in this upcoming game. I think we'll see Jamal Williams back in the end zone because he didn't get to score last week against the Vikings. I think he finds his redemption this week. I think he gets back in the end zone, and I think you see a high-powered offensive attack by the Lions this week. Again, they're searching for this playoff race, and you're seeing a lot of things kind of sway into their favor. Again, we're not just rooting for, things to go right for the playoff push. We're also seeing things work out well for their draft position as well. This is all brand new territory for us Detroit Lions fans. We're seeing people pick the Lions. We're seeing this team's draft positioning just get ramped up better and better every week. And now you're in a position where the teams in front of you in the wild card race are free falling in bad way right now. They're playing tougher schedules. They're dealing with injuries. They're dealing with turmoil inside their locker room. They're dealing with a lot of issues that you've written and solved early in the season. You're getting healthy at the right time. You're playing your best football at the right time. Now is the time to make a statement. You have to win out. You have to play convincing football against a team like the Jets, and they're more than capable. 30-20 is my final score, and I can't wait to see the game unfold. Talk to me in the comment section. I'd love to hear your final score. Let me know what you think the final score will be to the Lions-Jets game. 30-20 is my final score. I'd love to hear from you. Talk to me in the comments. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. Help us push our way to 6,000 subscribers, trying to hit that big milestone and grow our audience as big as we possibly can. So if you're new to the channel, join us and subscribe to the channel so we can make that happen. Make sure you're tapping into our social media as well. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of the above. Search and follow Detroit Sports Nation. And tap in with me as well at I am Eric Vincent. Of course, we will be unpacking the game on Beyond the Box on Monday as well. So make sure you tap in and watch it with me and AJ at 7 o'clock on Monday, which is every Monday, actually. Every Monday, 7 o'clock, Beyond the Box. We always unpacking and deep diving everything Lions, NFL, sports, and whatever else you want to talk about here with us on Detroit Sports Nation. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your support and time. I'll be right back again soon enough with another update right here from the DSN News Desk. Peace.